In this video I want to talk about the two sexual natures that the human being has. So currently every human being, well not every human being, but the high majority of human beings have working within them just one sexual nature, which we would call the centrifugal nature, which means the downward and outward flow of the sexual energy, meaning that the sexual energy escapes from the body. And to be very plain, and to speak in very plain terms, we mean that the sexual energy, being the seminal entity in men, or the sexual secretions in women, is lost, is expelled from the body, and the sexual energy really is enclosed within the seminal entity and the sexual secretions in women. So when the seminal entity leaves the body of a man, his sexual energy leaves him as well. So that is the common flow of the sexual energy within the human being, and that's what we call a downward and outward flow, or in other words a centrifugal force, which is an outward going force, a force that goes out from the center, that leaves the center. Okay, so that everyone has that centrifugal nature, unfortunately, because it means a loss of energy. And we all know that a loss of energy is never something positive. It's like to have a car and then all of a sudden have a hole in your petrol tank. So the downward and outward flow of the sexual energy is exactly that. We have a hole in our petrol tank. Our main source of life, of energy, is being leaked out. Okay, so that's the outward force, centrifugal nature. But then we also have the possibility for another nature, which is a mystery, and not very many human beings know about this, but you're learning about this in this video. And that is what we could call a centripetal nature, a nature where the sexual energy flows inward and then upward. So the sexual energy doesn't leave the body, but instead it gets transmuted, transformed. The actual energy component is taken from the matter component, and then that energy component travels throughout the body and is absorbed by other energy centers. For example, the major ones are the brain and the heart. So then the sexual energy invigorates us, gives us intelligence, gives us life, gives us strength, gives us warmth, increases our vitality, increases our overall energy level. Now because we don't lose energy, we gain energy actually. So we accumulate more energy. So in that way, the centripetal nature is much, much better. Now we absolutely recommend that. The centrifugal nature, well, there are some few seconds of pleasure in it, but that's all. A few seconds of pleasure gives way to much more, in time speaking, disappointment, pain, difficulty, low energy, all that sort of thing. The centripetal nature has none of that. And of course in the centripetal nature there's a certain moral pleasure that you know that you're doing well for yourself, for your whole system, by absorbing, releasing, so by liberating and absorbing that sexual energy. Okay, so this is all I wanted to say in this video, is that there are two sexual natures, a centrifugal and a centripetal. And of course a centripetal, in all the logical ways you look at it, is the best one. It's the one that is the best for us, in all the senses, physically, psychologically, spiritually. Okay, so if there's a channel for the sexual energy to go out, the sexual energy can go in through exactly the same channel. Okay, so I just wanted you to think about that. What we know about sex is only one-sided. There's much, much more to it. And it starts off by knowing, realizing, recognizing that there is a second nature that the human being can have. And the best is to have that centripetal nature and to be centered, absolutely focused, integrating that into your system so that you only have one sexual nature, and that's a centripetal nature, and the centrifugal nature is a thing of the past, gone. Okay, so we can do many things within us, practically, physically, to establish that second to establish that centripetal nature within us. And that is, every time you remember during the day to breathe in deeply, imagining that you're moving your own sexual energy from your sexual center, sexual organs, into your brain and into your heart, and to close up all the sphincters of the body, especially the rectum, and to imagine that energy going up your spinal column through these marvelous vital channels of the fourth dimension in the body, going up into our brain and then into our heart. And that way we will, slowly, bit by bit, change our nature from the centrifugal, the outward going nature, to the inward, upward nature. Okay, all the best with that practice. Now, you will definitely benefit from it. Adopt, the centripetal nature. Forget the centrifugal nature. It doesn't serve you any good at all. Okay, so good luck. Put it into practice, and I hope it will work for you. Definitely, it will work for you. Okay, thanks for watching.